I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it. It was like.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the young gunslinger Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs take on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come in off a loss last time out, but still in the midst of a great season, winners of 8 of their last 10. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only 1 drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He hits Baldwin right side. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 34.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail!
Here's a carry for the former Dolphin. It's Damian Williams. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And he slings one that's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Quarterback Shaquille Griffin had a nice rookie year in large part because he was never intimidated. And that came from Richard Sherman, who tutored him in 2017 and said he noticed that early about the young guy, and they just turned him loose.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The best name in the NFL, Barkevious Mingo. And it'll be 4th down. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
Well, did they ever? It was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now Wilson and Dixon over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. This is caught. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
On 1st down, Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 59 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And the play clock about to expire. Andy Reid notices it and takes a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Ware takes the give from Mahomes. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Spencer Ware, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's finished off by a Spencer Ware touchdown run. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing is Wilson. And some room to work. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. 10-7 our score. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's airing it out for Williams. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And Dixon has it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Thomas. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On the ground, this is Ware. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. They get it to him running left. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. On the run, it's Ware. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
Left, 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 left. Ace, ace.
They run it here. Ware. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Spencer Ware with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Butker now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know what else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This is Carson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Wilson looking sideline, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to...
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the 2nd time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. And you know where I'm going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
You talk about fantasy lobby, why don't you just play it? You know?
I'm not good enough to play a fantasy game. I enjoy watching you do it.
You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, that's a champ in my books. Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now, a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From midfield, here's Mahomes. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run now with Ware. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Left. Ace.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Got him in. It's complete. Williams. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And the kick by Butker is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, going to the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL.
You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This one taken just inside the 10. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 38.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jaron Reed in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And now they're in the hurry-up. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. As he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still second down.
On play action, it's Mahomes. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The former first-rounder Barkevious Mingo. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now here's Mahomes. And the pressure gets to him again. Frank Clark in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks?
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. On second down, Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, they go there.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Thomas. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Looking deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 81 yards. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Delay of game, offense.
This certainly feels like they were wanting to go for two, but weren't really sure they should go for two. Do we, don't we, do we, don't we? And guess what ends up happening?
5-yard penalty.
That's right. Now you probably line up and kick the extra point.
Butker now to add the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Carson. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 16. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's Mahomes to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to get him for his second sack of the night. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Returnable for Lockett. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 43 yards. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the 1st quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. From the gun, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about. Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Green 90. Green 90.
Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the night. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Mahomes now to throw. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. Doug Baldwin. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And the play clock about to expire. Andy Reid notices it and takes a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And room there to work it inside the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Now a handoff looking right. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Jordan Evans in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Here's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 17 yards on the pickup. And they're going to have a third down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
It was Reggie Ragland who got him down. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Here's McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 34. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go with Williams. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They'll run it with Williams. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this one is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Kansas City, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll be at home next week for a day.
When you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to